This is Boxing Tickets NI. We are delighted to be joined all the way down in Waterford with Jamie Conlan. How are you, Jamie?
All good, Stevie. All good, mate.
Obviously, you're just about to go and do obviously the weigh-in today. There's obviously been it's not just a war in Waterford this week. Obviously, there's been a bit of beef, and this time for once it wasn't Craig McCarthy and Graham McCormack. It was Dylan and Tyrone having a bit of beef yesterday.
Yeah, it was very surprising because Tyrone has been really laid back, and so has Dylan, and both been really respectful to each other. I thought on the first press conference and overly nice, but it kicked off, and Tyrone took a few comments he said personal, and Dylan then had a bit of fight between his teeth as well. I think they both understand what the fight is going to be like tomorrow night, and it's starting to come out now, and they're ready to fight. Both lads are ready to fight. I think it'll also be a bit hot and heavy again today. Emotions are running high. You know, as I said, some personal jabs Tyrone wasn't happy with, but there's pressures. There's big pressure on the fight. You know, the future potentially of Waterford boxing is riding on the back of it as well. So it's a big night on Saturday, and I think that started to show through in the main event.
Who do you think the pressure's more on? Obviously, on the fight, is the pressure on Dylan? Obviously, as the main event at home, or is the pressure on Tyrone? Because another defeat probably at this stage, and it probably is all over. Like, who would the pressure be on? More is it probably more so on Dylan?
Well, that's a good question, and it's a question that you can make an argument for both guys. Like, question for Dylan, he has come over the Marquee defeat and he has kind of revamped himself, and coming away to Belfast was a great opportunity for him and a great win for him. But now he has to come back and do it in front of his home crowd and have to carry the kind of show and carry the potential of Waterford going forward. But and then Tyrone is obviously back to back defeats. First time being stabbed against the Moon. He has a lot of pride on the line as well. He values himself and prides himself on his durability, and kind of that's what Dylan was saying yesterday about the body shots and stuff. So a lot on the line for both lads. A lot on the line. It's a real crossroads fight.
And like, obviously, I know that with you, obviously, with the promotion and things like that, and obviously being very friendly with both, you're probably not going to have opinion on sort of who's getting in as favourite. Anybody I've sort of spoke to, I guess, in different sort of circles, probably say they always bank on Tyrone's experience. Obviously, he's been at a bigger, higher caliber level of fight, whereas Dylan, in truth, probably hasn't been at that level. So for him, he probably has to step up a lot. Tyrone would probably have to look really bad in some respects from experience, but we don't know how Father Time maybe might have caught up with Tyrone these last couple of defeats. And
Yeah, yeah, probably do edge towards Tyrone as a favourite to start off with. Just with the experience, with being in with the bigger guys, the pro guys, the Cadrolls of the world, the Jose Felixes. Um, the last fight as well, 140 was a big problem, 147. But then again, 147 is something I see in favour of Dylan, and his strength and physicality is what kind of makes me tip it as closely in as a 50-50 as it can be. But it's got a bit of everything because of that. Tyrone's experience is a positive, but then also a negative because you never know when Father Time's going to creep up in you in there.
the obviously it's quite an international sort of card. There's obviously, I guess, for purist Irish boxing fans, maybe they'll sort of look at some of the card and go, why some of the other Irish fighters are up, no, further up the card. But unfortunately, obviously, when you pro box, obviously, and they're looking at the appeal to an international audience, you really obviously put together, a really good undercard put together. And for people that maybe are just watching Irish fights, they're going to get to see a lot of really good international fights as well.
100%. Like Jonathan Navarro and Jair Valtiierra is going to be an absolute slugfest. It's going to be brilliant. It is a real treat for the card. Boxing fans will be in for a treat. I think both lads bang up for it. Again, it's another one of them fights where it's a real big test for a prospect coming through, and if an opportunity for the B side in this case, in Valtierra's case, technically the B side to really make a statement and go out there and get the win. But I just think that fight is all the makings to be an absolute war. And then we have a chance to see Sultan Zaurbek up close and personal. Potentially, from what I'm gathering from Sauerland and Wasserman and on his management team, Zaurbek most likely will fight for a world title fight in the next fight or two. And this is kind of the last stepping stone test. We've seen Damian Wrzesinki in Belfast before and given Anto Kakachi a test just before he went on to fight for his world titles. So this is kind of the last kind of rung on the ladder for Zaurbek before kind of the big world title fights. He's been mixing it with Rafael Espinosa in his camp. He's bringing over Manny Robles, which is a friend of the family as a coach. So it was good to see Manny Jr. and so on and so forth this week in Waterford. But it's a real good international feel to it, and it's got everything. You know, it's got the slick skills with the punching power of Sultan Zaurbek and the all-out Mexican War, and then we've got like overstacked card, and unfortunate one or two have fell off, but an overstacked card with Irish fighters that I'm excited to do, and then the debuts of the Croft twins that boxing fans here will know from their fights of Irish fighters, like the Walshes and so on and so forth. So it's it's got a bit of everything. Really got a bit of everything. I'm looking forward to Dean Walsh's debut as well. Really looking forward to seeing what Dean Walsh looks like as a first time pro.
I was supposed to a couple of days this week. Obviously, me and Dean had planned to do an interview, and it just seemed to be it didn't work out. But like, it was obviously doing some research, obviously seeing what he's been through. Like, obviously a big rich family, obviously in boxing, and he's probably living a dream in some ways. Obviously now as a professional, he never got to go to the Olympics, but he's obviously living the dream now, and he'll be obviously looking to move fast as well.
He is, and why not? He has mixed it at the elite level as an amateur, so I don't think he really wants to wait around. And initially to do a 6, but because he's been out of the ring for so long, we just decided to do a 4 on the first, and then kind of keep moving steadily along. But looking forward to seeing what he's like as a pro under Jimmy Payne. Kevin Cronin bouncing back from the Emma Brennan fight and getting the win hopefully before March of next year. There's a good few. Danny Duffy's professional debut. Jason Quigley raves about him. Tiana, the girl, is one I think we need to look out for. It. I'm hearing from everyone and anyone down here that she could be the next big thing. Unbelievable talent, and I'm very, very excited. So it looks very young. Doesn't look like a boxer, but I'm hearing that she's just phenomenal, and very, very excited. And Shane McConnell is another one, a big punching Waterford kid that everyone here raves about. So really intriguing fight, really intriguing show. Sorry.
And obviously tomorrow night, obviously as well. Obviously Pierce O'Leary, unfortunately, has obviously had a late change in opponent. I don't blame the opponent, sort of glad for sort of pulling out, because Pierce is just a phenomenal talent, and he probably didn't want to be disgraced and getting beat by someone that's going to be a world champion in the future.
1,000,000%. It's been a tough few weeks for Pierce, but on Wednesday, I didn't think we're fighting. I didn't think we had a fight. We were able to salvage a fight and just get him out 9-8 rounds before Christmas. See out the year, 3 fights this year. See it out with the European title challenge. Hopefully, by around about March next year, in an absolute humdinger with John Fernandez. But believe me when I say that Pierce O'Leary is the real deal. He is unbelievable. People in the gym stop when Pierce O'Leary is in the ring. That's a testament to Pierce, but also testament to his whole team around him. This guy can really go to the top. I mean, mentality. I've not really seen much people with the same mindset as Pierce O'Leary. Punch power, boxing IQ, fantastic speed, adaptability, physical presence. Then I get getting back to the mindset, being sick, vomiting as he's walking to the ring, and able to switch off in the big fight of his career against R40 last time and go and put a performance the way he did. But yeah, just get it out, get home, spend Christmas with the family, and then an assault on European honours next year and hopefully world honours before the end of the year, because this guy's got it all.
It's a potential, maybe obviously he could be on an undercard, obviously I've to catch you, whether it's Leewood in Nottingham or maybe here in Belfast. Is that maybe what they're looking like? Maybe a double Irish connection on the same card?
There's a few different dates that penciled. There's a few different dates penciled for Pierce. We got to sit down with Queensberry, figure out what works best. But yeah, a few different dates penciled all around.
Obviously, I'm not sure because you've been so busy with the card. I'm not sure if you've seen the Dirty Dancing video. It was obviously put up last night. What do you reckon of Frampton and Paddy Barnes?
I was talking to Carl this morning. It was the best promo video I've ever seen. Best video. Yeah. I think they do that. I think they do that more when the cameras aren't on them anyway. So it's just another Tuesday night for them too.
I think Paddy's taking bookings now for ear massages.
But you're going to say something else there, Morty.
I guess obviously it probably looks like, Eddie Hearn sort of said that they're going to obviously announce their shows for next year. I don't think it's any secret that obviously Lewis and Paddy's locked in. When obviously Paddy's fight was obviously he's announced his fight was off for next week. Does that put the positive, is that back in Lewis's favour, the fact that they've both been out of the ring the sort of same time as not giving Paddy a one-up?
It's all the same, isn't it? Both lads are exceptional talents, they're world-class athletes, and we got notification about 2-3 weeks ago that it's going to be for a final eliminator for the IBF world title, and that's what it deserves. It is a world level fight. It's an Irish fight, but it's an Irish fight on a world stage. Both are the polar opposite to each other in terms of how they fight. Paddy's fantastic sharpshooter on the back foot, great feet, great skill, great speed. And Lewis has got speed, aggression, come forward, ferocity that I've never seen. So it's got all the makings for a fantastic fight, and a fantastic fight for Irish boxing, because it really puts Irish boxing on the world stage. It's not an Irishman against a Mexican, American, an Englishman. It's an Irishman against an Irishman. It's a fight or Northern Irishman against a Southern Irishman, but we'll get too into that. But it's a fight that really gives the whole island an opportunity to get behind, because it's a massive night for here. It's a massive night for Belfast. I'm delighted it's in Belfast. It was the only place it should have been, because I think Croc is the massive draw.
Where would you sit in the opinion of obviously the best? We've never had two Irish fighters fighting for a world title before. So where does this fight rank in terms of the potential of obviously being the best ever all Irish fight? That's probably the biggest all Irish fight in terms of the gratification, in terms of world title on the line for the winner.
We had a WBA interim world title for Mick and TJ Dehaney.
That's right.
So I think that fight is up there as well. And now seeing what TJ had went and done as well, it was that was another big all Irish fight. But this has the makings for an absolute classic. I think their whole social approach to it now, they're both biting at each other, which is good to see. That initially it all started off respectful. And I think there's massive respect. You have to respect each other in there, and you have to respect every fighter that gets in the ring, and you have to respect what they're able to do to each other. But now they also have the needle between each other and the bit between their teeth, and they understand what is on the line here. It's not just a fight; it's an opportunity fight for world title.
Finally, obviously, because I said I'd keep it short and sweet for you, because obviously you're going to the weigh-in. Obviously, for anybody that's still of the opinion of whether they tune in tomorrow night, obviously tell them why that they should be tuned in from the very start. They obviously watch in ProBox.
I think we're in for one of the best cards we've ever had in Ireland. Top to bottom, we've got a bit of everything. We've got Irish fighters, we've got Welsh fighters, we've got Mexicans, Kazakhs, but we've got genuine 50-50 all Irish fights. We've got Craig McCarthy and Graham McCormack, which we didn't even touch on, in a rematch of a classic that happened down here in Waterford before, which has pure and honest rivalry between each other. We have Moran, Tyrone, McKenna on a real crossroads fights. But the next fight, whoever wins this fight is on the massive fights and massive honours, and whoever loses this fight probably is going to reevaluate their career. We have them on all Mexican bloodbath that's due to happen. Kazakh sensation and Sultan Zaurbek fighting a real good, honest world level or fringe world level Polish guy. And then we have massive prospects around. We have Dean Walsh making his professional debut, Dean Furlong again back, Kevin Cronin and Danny Duffy making his professional debut. We're really in for a treat. This is a big night of boxing, and it's long may these continue in Ireland.
You missed the last one in Waterford. I'm missing it this one, so it's going to be one each. So we'll have to have a trilogy in Waterford in the future.
They miss you down here, Morty. Loads are asking about you.
I'll send them my autographs in the post. But enjoy, obviously, hopefully some beef at the weigh-ins today. Obviously, enjoy your fight night in the SETU Arena tomorrow night, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you very soon.
Morty, pal.
All right, Jerry, cheers. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.